Yo, what's good?
Ruby Rules.
You know what time it is. It's the big blowout show. It's Ruby Reubs on the buttons. We've got a special guest on the show today. You get me? You know what time it is. We're here with Isaac from Vintage Supply. You get me? One of the leading brands in 80s, 2000s, high-end vintage, designer, streetwear, activewear, getting it in with the fashion
Ruby
bits. You
Rules.
get me? Shout out Vintage Supply. What's good, fam? What
Nah,
you saying?
Ruby
What you
Rules.
telling me? What's been going on, fam?
We're all good, man. We're all good. Hustling.
Yeah,
Keeping
yeah.
things going.
Jeez. Yeah, you know what time it is. So like, let the people know like a bit about Vintage Supply and like what it actually is.
So, Vintage Supply for me was like, I've been an artist, or, I don't like labels, but, I've been an artist for about 5 years or something. So, I've been in and out of the game, and I've had skin in the game. And I just thought, for me personally, I don't like to be told what to do. So I took it upon myself to create something. And, I think anyone can agree with me. Starting a business, you have to have a high level of naivety, because 90% of the time it will not work, and it's fucking, hardcore. But I just never wanted someone to tell me what to do. I never wanted to be fired. I never wanted to be, controlled or anything like that. So Vintage Supplier for me was to be able to do things for the culture through my own doing, because I have a voice, I have an opinion, and I think I owe it to the people to give something back, and give something back to the culture that's fucking sick, and something that's not been seen before, hopefully.
So like obviously like there's many ways that you can kind of touch the culture. There's different. Why did you choose fashion? Why did you go into the fashion world to
I think I can't remember the quote, but there's a famous quote: "Fashion never dies." Everyone needs clothes. You're always gonna need clothes. Clothes are also a flex as well. So
flexing?
yeah, trust me. If you've got that, 1990 Stone Island, no one else has got that.
Ooh.
So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to do it, because when I was 15, 16, I used to buy and sell Stone Island on Facebook. What is it? Stone Island Talk, Supreme Talk, all of those things. If you know, you know. And I used to make a little bit of money through then, and then kind of, went through high school, did fucking drugs and stuff, got misguided, and not really, focused. And then I realized, hang on a minute, I'm good with clothing. So let's try and create a business, and create a sort of path for myself, so that no one else can, like it's my thing, and no one can tell me what to do, and no one can control me, and I control the thing. And I want people to look kind of sick. And I think that for me, I don't want to be grandiose, but I feel like half the game I got a better vision than. So
Jeez. Trust me, I see the vision.
that will come in due time. But yeah, man, I
Ruby
did that.
Rules.
That's just how I feel, and I've been looking at the game. I've been analyzing it for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Since 2013, I've been analyzing the game in silence, and I think I can bring something better to the table. And it might not be the best, but it'll definitely be up there.
Trust me, because like I'm seeing this like more of a trend now, like seeing like vintage clothes, like people are rocking vintage clothes with no shame. Like I'm seeing out like in Top Shop, they got like a whole section of just vintage clothes. So it's definitely like popular right now. You get me? So
Yeah, I think with them, it's kind of like, I don't know, man. Like Top Shop and charity shops as well. They're clocking onto the thing. So I remember going charity shopping, buying something for 50p a pound. And now they're selling the cost tees for 15 quid.
Jeez.
So
Ain't no charity though.
And also, by the way, charity shops get their stuff for free. So everything's donated, and then they sell it. So they're selling it for profit. So it's a business. It's not a charity. So, that's where I was like, hey, man, like, you know what I mean?
Serious game. If you do it properly, you get me. It's definitely a serious game.
It's nostalgia as well. It's like, I've met people who are 30, 40 years old and, they wanted the Jordans or they wanted that Nike thing or whatever. But real talk, most people who are, kids or student can't afford fucking bags of clothing, and it's more associated to young adults that are 20 plus in their also in their 40s to get back to the nostalgia, to be like, right, I remember them Jordans when they came out, or I remember when that thing came, or I remember when that Pokemon game came out. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
So what inspired you like to even get into this thing? Like, what was the initial spark?
I would say like, man, it's difficult. Probably pain. If you know,
Pain.
if you know what I mean, it's a really weird one. I think in like today's age, it's like, everyone's got anxiety and everyone's got depression, and we've all got mental health issues and stuff. And it was like, that's there for you to use it. You get me? So the pain is there for you. So if someone fucks you over, use that pain as like almost like cocaine or something. Like be like, yo, fuck this dude, bro. Like, and it's a real drug. If you ever get angry at someone, you find yourself getting twisted and saying things that you never really meant to say, because you're drunk in rage. So it's like, use that drunk of rage to something that's beneficial to the culture.
I see. That kind of turn it into a positive.
But yeah, it's an intense feeling. It's like, it's like caffeine. It's like Coke. It's like, if anyone feels anger, it feels that intense.
Yeah,
So instead of using that intensity to go and blow out on someone else who don't give a fuck, do it for yourself. Do it for your business. Do it for your,
do it for your people.
do
You get me?
it for yourself. Harness the anger. Fuck the other person, and then just, you'll be able to create something great.
Yeah. What's like one of your favorite brands that you think like will kind of like, like one of your favorite brands that you think even if it gets old, it's still relevant, like,
North Face.
North Face.
100%.
Was it like the big puffers? Because I know they got the big puffers. That's the thing I mostly know them for.
Yeah, I think they're called the Nuptus or something. Hey, I don't know the full name, but you know what I mean. The Nuptus, and then there's certain ones, but I think North Face will always, be one of the forefronts in like fashion because everyone loves it. Recently I've been looking at Arctrex, and I mean, they're recently killing it. They've been around for a little while, but recently in the streetwear like culture scene, they've been killing it, and they know exactly what to do. So those people, people I'd say might have fallen off Supreme and Palace.
Ooh, Supreme, you saying falling off?
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
Like, I think it used to be cool, but like now to get a Supreme or a Palace, it's like it's not that cool. Especially if you can get vintage, you can get some fucking like old school Machino from 1990 that no one else can get. Why would you not rather that than the Palace that like 100, 200, 300 people can get? It's just, that's what people are about, man. It's about individuality, and it's about, expressing yourself individually. If 10 people got the same thing as you, then you're just a copy of a copy of a copy.
Right. So you're saying that, like obviously like these brands, they do like limited edition, like they do like only a certain amount. Is that like, does that play a big role in this vintage thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so because, they're vintage, so it's dead stock. And if it's from the 1980s or 1990s, it's never made again. So you might be able to find the same jumper. I mean, you'd really have to fucking go looking, but like on my page, if there's a jumper from 1990s that's Nike, or if there's a Valentino, there's a very good chance that you will not find that again. And I welcome you to find it again. And then go buy that for cheaper. But like that's the whole point of vintage, is that it is rare because it's not being manufactured anymore. What's being manufactured is fast fashion.
Jeez.
And so fast fashion is bullshit because, I might buy a bait 1 year and someone then goes, that's last year's bait. That's last year's Moncler.
Okay,
You can't say that's last year's fucking 1990s Nike. You know what I mean?
Because it's in its own bracket. It's got its own.
Dude, you try get that then.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't go to the shop and get that. You can't. So that's where the vintage stuff comes in. It's like it's actually cooler, rarer, and it's cheaper and it's sustainable. So, what's it? The Paris Climate Agreement is like by 2030, it's 100%. Efficiency or whatever, and it's like, well, if you want to be a part of that, fucking buy sustainable fashion. Don't buy fast fashion.
Right.
That's just gonna go out of fashion in 18 months.
Well, now they're doing clothes out of recyclable material. I also read up on something recently that like the cactus leather. I don't know if you've heard of it. They're making leather out of cactuses and stuff like that.
Trust me,
yeah.
I mean, people are getting onto it, but the reason they're getting onto it is because it's a necessity. And, sustainability was never cool. And, people wouldn't buy into something that's not cool. So what big brands are trying to do right now is trying to make sustainability cool and stuff and da-da-da-da-da. People have been doing it for fucking 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah. It's always been cool. It's cool to save the planet. It's cool to not be fast fashion. It's cool to have the individual piece. It's cool to be different. Don't go to fucking Gucci and spend $5 on a top that some fucking, kid in China made for 2p. It makes no sense.
Right.
Buy into sustainable fashion, and it's like it's way better than the fast fashion shit. It's not being reproduced in a country and people being underpaid and all of that shit. It's it's cool. It's being and then the money and the proceeds go straight back into shoes. It goes straight back into vintage. It doesn't. I don't get paid yet, So like, it's all for the culture. But if you're gonna buy a Gucci in fast fashion, that's for you to go on a gram and be like,
right. So the whole different game. Okay. All right. So what's the most expensive vintage piece that you've come across? Like, I know that these things can get pretty pricey.
I mean, for me personally, $2, and that's not a lot. But I mean, if you're getting like a Nirvana tee or something, or what's it called? Losing my mind now because of the drink, but there's some vintage stuff that go for like $1,000, $5 and stuff.
Okay.
If it's really rare, all Kurt Cobain shit.
But how do you know this stuff's authentic? Like, okay, a Nirvana t-shirt. How do you know that that's a legit Nirvana t-shirt?
You gotta ask around. You gotta ask. It's the same way if you're getting a quote off something. If you're selling. Whatever, you get quotes. So you ask one man, and then you ask another man, and you ask another man, and you ask another man, and then you average it out together, and you go, okay, this is how it should go for. And you can look on eBay, and you can look at all sorts of things and stuff like that. But like real true vintage can go for grands. Because they're one of one, especially if it's like a Kurt Cobain tee or a Rolling Stone tee, or if it's like a Sid Vicious tee.
Okay.
You're not gonna get that
You ain't
again.
gonna get that. That's that one of a kind. Have you heard of StockX?
Of course.
Yeah. Like, I feel like for kicks, it's so easy to like make a replica and say, oh, that this is vintage.
Yeah.
And when you take it to stock, because I've been to StockX in Central, and I've seen like they got like replicas, and then they got the real thing, and they let you know, oh, this is a replica, this is the real thing, and it's like, bro,
Yeah, that's a
how the
bit.
hell would you know
That's a bit crazy. I've never seen that before. That's mental.
Yeah. It's like,
That's mental.
yeah. How do you know what's real? That's one of the things with this vintage thing. If someone's selling you, some trainers, you got to really be careful. So
Yeah, I mean, if someone's selling you, like, you've got to have, what's the word? Not rapport, but you got to have like, so with me, reviews. You gotta have like people who can vouch for you, and then don't ask one person. Ask 2, ask 3, ask 4, ask 5. One person is gonna give you one price. The second person is going to give you another price. The third's going to give you another. And then you average that out together and you get the mean. And then you go, okay, all right. The mean of this is £500. Let me do 450.
Okay. I see. I'm kind of getting it a bit more now. Okay. So what's like your what does it really take to get into it, like in terms of doing business, like in terms of what VntgeSupply do? And they supply, high end, do you get me? What does it take to break into that market? Like, if someone out there was like, they want to get into the same thing.
I would say don't.
You say don't get into it.
I would say don't get. I mean, if you really like fucking want to sacrifice everything, then otherwise don't get into it. It's fine having a 9-to-5 job. It's fine to have, friends and a fucking lifestyle. But if you really like, if you're really about not even vintage, but business in itself, you have to sacrifice absolutely everything. So sacrifice your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your granddad, your friend, like all of it. So, and then you're gonna lose money. You're gonna lose, you're gonna lose your mind. You're gonna lose. So, like, when people, these gurus on Instagram are like, just create. Hey,
It's not like that.
It's fucking difficult. If you're not, and if you don't believe in it, and if it's not your lifestyle, then don't get involved. For me, this is my life. This is what I love to do. I love to do this even when it's painful, right? And for me, I want to create a path. I feel that there's a lot of pride in being able to create something of your own rather than working for someone else, and that's completely cool, but it takes a lot to create something.
150% in.
150%, and no one's gonna believe you. Your mum's gonna be like, you're an idiot. Your dad's gonna say you're not gonna be able to do it. Your friends are gonna be like, you're totally lost, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Everyone's gonna chat shit about you. Everyone's going to be like, you're rubbish. Oh, this isn't working. For 6 months, it might not work. You might be getting no fucking money. You might not be posting at all. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, you failed. That's what it takes.
Jeez.
You got to live it.
Spitting game.
You got to live it. And you're going to be on your own,
So, like, do you have any, like, personal, like, obstacles that you've, like, you have an example of an obstacle that you've experienced doing this, and, like, a way that you kind of got around it and bounced back?
Yeah, I mean, many. Perspective, but also that you have one life. You have one at bat, so do your best. And I feel, for me personally, it's like, I wake up every morning and I go, I've got one life. like, I want to be like, you know, the Michael Jordans, obviously I'm not going to be like them, but I wake up and I go, there's only one chance at this, right? So, you know, like, live as if you're going to die tomorrow, in a
Just
sense.
go for your dreams, basically.
Yeah, and it's fucking hard because your friends are going to tell you, you know, what you're doing is completely rubbish. And as I said, everyone, up until you bust, is going to be like, oh yeah, we knew it.
That's mad, isn't it?
Oh, of course, yeah. And
Remember, I was telling you to do that. See,
reposting your stuff, being like, yeah, my man, and it's like, bruv, no, you were not there. So, you know, anyone that wants to get involved in business or whatever, you know, be prepared to lose everything. But then at the end of it all, you'll win everything because, you know, you can get the friendships, you can get the kind of people that you need to be around because they're in the same vicinity as you, they've got the same ideologies as you, philosophies, all of that type of thing. But for 5, maybe 10 years, you're going to be alone, and it's going to be painful, and no one's going to clap for you. Everyone's going to try and put you down. If you try and contest with some next man who's bigger than you, that's got a bigger business than you, he's going to try and tear you down at the same time.
No love out here. What's going on with the love at? Jeez.
Trust me. So, but, I mean, look, if you're confident enough, then do it.
Trust me. If you're confident enough and you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything, you feel me?
Trust me. It's just about belief.
Yeah,
it's just about belief.
No doubt.
Ruby Reubs.
So where can the people find your stuff? Like, where do you sell your stuff? Like, you know?
So Instagram, at VntgeSupply, so it's VNTGE Supply, one word, SU.
Yeah.
SUPPLE.
Don't worry, we'll put it up in the description. Don't worry.
Trust me. But yeah, man, we're just getting started. I started like this year, you know, and a lot more things are gonna be happening. A lot better stock is gonna be been put through. I want to get Avarex. I want to get.
Alright, bro. If you get any Avarexes, just let me know, bro.
Trust me.
Let me know, bro. Do you know Avarexes?
I'm
gonna yeah.
Man, go up on Wiley gets and all of that, old school 2000. Trust me. So, you know,
people don't know what Avarexes are right now. Like, it's just so. Like 10 years ago,
they never knew.
Buried.
They never knew, and now it's like hot. So trust me, we're just getting started. I've been doing this for a year, so it's like, you know, it is literally just started. But we'll be getting, you know, better clothes in, Avarex, Stone Island, fucking, you know, them NASCAR fucking, but everything's sick. And then we're gonna do movies, we're gonna do fucking shoots, we're gonna do all sorts of type of things. We're gonna create sick content. It's gonna be like nothing that anyone's ever done before. I don't think I've ever seen anyone in the game, in the clothing vintage game, that has the vision to do commercial shoots and stuff. Like, I'm gonna do them in autumn, winter.
Listen, we gotta definitely link some stuff up, man. I got like yourself.
Ruby
I got
Reubs.
a lot of people as well that in my network that do fashion, that like do bespoke
100%.
bits and that. So I'm definitely gonna get all of you guys linked up, and we'll do like a pop-up. We're gonna do some pop-ups, you get me?
Trust me, pop-ups is the way.
Trust me.
So you hit your P's.
I've seen like your bits that you sell, like your vintage bits, and they're very high end. Like, it's very quality. Like, even today when you rocked up with the Carhartt jacket, I was like, my man is swaggy.
Blood, but this is the thing. This is the thing. This is just the start. Like, I want people to understand. Like, this is just the start. Like, I really and truly, for me, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like half of the stock I like. I don't know. I don't like half of the stock I'm selling. I don't think it's good enough. You know, I want to be selling Averex. I want to be doing music video shoots. I want to be selling, you know, or renting to fucking Morrison Gets in music videos, left, right, and center. All of those things. So I'm on 1% at the moment. I ain't even started.
Jeez.
So
room for improvement, man.
Room for improvement. So just, I mean, you know, if you want to follow and you'll see the whole journey. You know, dropped out of college at fucking 17, and so I know basically nothing. And so you're watching someone just kind of build everything together, just as it is, how it can be done, and like off the top of the head type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. You've definitely got a natural gift, bro. Like,
Thank you.
When I first spoke to you, like the way, like your enthusiasm and the way you're comfortable with speaking about your own brand and all that, it's like, it's you're definitely talented in that way. So.
Sure. I mean, you know, you gotta be. I think if you're gonna do a brand, you have to be extremely self-aware. If you're not self-aware, if you don't know who you are, you can't make a brand. I don't think you even know who yourself is. So, you know, I respect anyone that is able to build a brand, because it means that they know themselves. And especially if you're younger, if you're under 30 and you're making a brand, you fucking know who you are, and you're very, very, very self-aware in what you do, your philosophy, your type of thing. And I think a lot of, you know, kids that are young, you know, my age don't, and they need to focus on that.
100%, bro. No doubt, bro. Isaac from Vintage Supply. It's the blowout show. You know what time it is. Stay tuned. We're going to get into some gaming right now. You get me?
But.
Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. You feel me? RubyReubs.com. Get yourself some merch. Check out Vintage Supply.
Both merch.
Yeah, both merch. Vintage Supply. High end. You get me? High end vintage fashion. Good to have you on the show, my G.
Let's do some gaming.
Yo, we're gonna get into some gaming right now. Big blowout show, big Ruby Roos on the buttons, Vintage Supply. Let's go.